welcome to the Hell in a Cell results and reactions video. Now, this was well, before I get into that, if you do not want to know the results of Hell in a Cell, then leave this video immediately because I will be announcing the results and give my reaction. So, and just saying, spoiler alert. So, you got 5 seconds to leave this video. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. If you didn't leave on time, too bad. Here are the results. So, the main event was between Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. And I predicted Dean Ambrose to win this match until today. I was like, not today, Sunday. I was like, because I heard around 7 that there was a confirm that there will be indeed a feud between Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose. And I immediately found that out during the kickoff show. So I was like, what if Bray Wyatt got involved after their feud or in the Hell in a Cell? They did it terrifically. This match overall was pretty good because it was basically, in my opinion, a kind of a reenactment of a match in a Hell in a Cell. I think this is a reenactment probably of the first Hell in a Cell match. Because what happens? You have two people falling down a cell like HBK. Well, instead, Rollins and Ambrose fell down through the announcer tables. That's what Shawn Michaels did. Someone returns and assaults someone and causes them to win. Kane was the first to do that. Now Bray Wyatt. So, just so you guys know, Seth Rollins won this match because of Bray Wyatt's interference. And overall, this was a pretty good match. Especially the pay-per-view. And surprisingly, I thought this pay-per-view was going to be horrible. But surprisingly, it was not. And for the first time, and I'll be doing this from now on a scale of 0 to 10, I will now give my grades on the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. And I would give it a 7 out of 10. Pretty good show. So I would give it a 7. Because surprisingly, everyone, including me, thought this show was going to be horrible. But it absolutely did not disappoint. Now, Seth Rollins, we all know, won the match, so that's why he's on here. Also, John Cena won this match to get a future world title shot against Brock Lesnar. Now, which we all should have saw this coming because he was the guy to face him at the Royal Rumble, and this could potentially actually be now Survivor Series when thinking about it. So, it was pretty cool. There was a lot of RKOs out of nowhere, and speaking of that, the RKO vines, I don't know if any of you guys seen the RKO vines. They're taking over the social media. It's like a trend, those RKO vines. They are so funny as shit. So I would recommend you guys watching those RKO vines because they're so funny as hell. But, yeah, because there was like 2 cool RKOs out of nowhere. We seen an RKO out of nowhere when Cena tried to attempt a shoulder thrust with his comeback. And then we see, which I saw in person at Bragging Rights, we saw an RKO. We saw an attitude adjustment into an RKO. Pretty cool to see that. But in the end, John Cena won this match with an attitude adjustment through a table on the top rope. So Cena gets a future world title shot against WWE World Heavyweight Champion and the man who conquered The Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar. Now, what other shit do we have on the show? Oh yes, the pre-show. Damien Mizdow and The Miz. Okay then. Dolph Ziggler retains his IC title with he shut Cesaro out in the 2 out of 3 pinfalls match. So Ziggler retains 2-0. And surprisingly, and I knew this all along, we all knew that Dolph Ziggler was going to win because the WWE has already given up a little bit on Cesaro. And Dolph Ziggler, in my opinion, is probably a good Intercontinental Champion. And potentially, I actually do see him probably having the title for at least a year. But I don't see the WWE actually doing that. Because they want to give basically their main stars the title at least to make them maybe the next face of WWE. But we'll see if that ever happens in the future. Sheamus wins the U.S. He actually retained the U.S. title against The Miz. And I gotta give credit to Damien Mizdow, or Sandow, whatever you call him. I gotta give credit because how he's been, his character, I actually do like it, how he's acting like a stunt double. and doing the things that The Miz does in the ring. Here, I'll show you guys a picture, for example. Like, as you can see, what Damien Sandow's doing is what The Miz is, well, flip it around. What The Miz is doing, Damien Sandow does. And I actually do like this, and I do see a good future in Damien Sandow, hopefully. And not making him a character that looks like a selfish little bitch, having these different characters of like LeBron James, an astronaut, Bruce Springsteen, like nothing like that. Which it was pretty funny, and I was actually laughing when Damien Sandow was doing this because everyone was entertained. Everyone likes this character. Everyone sure does see him getting into the title hunt in the near future, but surprisingly, we might see Sheamus versus Rusev as the next feud. The Rhodes Brothers actually retain as well. Now, there's only one problem in this match, and what I think they need to do is have a new opponent for the Rhodes Brothers because I am sick and tired of having the same two tag teams facing off every week on Raw and then on Hell in a Cell. Like, just give them a new opponent. I'll be happy with that. Like, if they have a triple threat tag team match, maybe a Survivor Series, something like that, then yeah, I'll be okay with it. But if it's for the titles, no. I'll make an exception for a rematch clause only on Raw, not at Survivor Series. That would not work at all. Now, AJ Lee retained against Paige, and I kind of do see a Paige and Alicia Fox feud, but we'll just have to see about that. So yeah, AJ Lee retained, and also Rusev defeated the Big Show. Now, Lana's kind of hot, but I'm not a fan of her like makeup and all that. But I do. She's pretty hot. But anyway, Rusev won this match, and this kind of shows that they're trying to push this guy probably to face Sheamus for the United States Championship, probably at the next pay-per-view or two. We are just going to have to find out and see if they actually do that. Now, we had the match between Nikki and Brie Bella, and the loser becomes the bitch, as I said. Well, actually, it's the personal assistant for 30 days, or 1 month, whatever you say. And we all knew Nikki Bella was going to win this match. Now, the only reason why, and we all should know this, if you thought Brie was going to win, then you don't even know what wrestling is. Like, if you want to continue the storyline, you need to have the heel win. And that's what the WWE did, and I'm so glad. And usually for these kind of matches, I don't even watch them because they're horrible as shit. But this match I was interested in. It lasted about 10 minutes, and actually was a pretty good match. I just would have had it probably mid-card, like during the show, like in the middle of the show. Like, that's the only problem. I would have had this match in the middle of the show and then the beginning of the show. And then the pre-show was no use at all. This was also on the kickoff show. Mark Henry defeats Bo Dallas within like a couple seconds. And I have one problem with this match. What in the hell are they thinking? Now, this kind of pisses me off a little bit on having these matches without us really notified about them. And these matches are not even worth it because they waste our time, and the kickoff shows, in my opinion, are a waste. Like, stop having these kickoff shows at 7 o'clock East Coast time. Have it at 7:30 again. Like, that's just crazy. Like, the only pay-per-views I have an exception for these kickoff shows to start now early are Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. And a question. That's when the kickoff shows should begin at 7. The other pay-per-views should start at 7:30. Because they're a waste of our time, and it's nothing but a piece of shit. Now, this has been the Hell in a Cell results and reactions video. Now, the next pay-per-view, which I already mentioned, the next WWE pay-per-view will be, I believe, November 23rd, I believe. Live on pay-per-view. And yes, I'm promoting the stupid network anyway. Or you could get it on the WWE Network for just, you guys are supposed to say it. Anyway, $9.99. or $12.99 if you don't want to renew it. But anyway, this has been my Hell in a Cell results and reactions video, and I am now going to be teasing a 100th episode tomorrow. And yes, I am confirming that either tomorrow or Wednesday will be the 100th episode spectacular. Now, stay tuned for that. Alright, thank you guys for watching, and subscribe to the Milesburger channel. Take care. Peace.